Hi, I'm Cassy of Zassy's Treasures and Design, and today I'm going to show you how to make a music sheet wreath. The supplies you will need are sheet music, scissors, a pencil, a hot glue gun with plenty of hot glue sticks, buttons, roping, a household plate, and a decent sized piece of cardboard. So first you're going to start off with your sheet music. Mine is actually on a binder, so I'm going to rip it out, and I'm just going to leave the frayed edges because I just think it adds character. And you are going to start in the very bottom corner, and you are going to roll your sheet music. It's important to roll in a downward pattern. Once you get your technique figured out for rolling, it gets a lot easier. You're going to roll it down, and then you're going to let it spread open just a little bit to have more of a looser cone shape. Then you're going to leave a little edge of your paper out, just a little corner. And then you're going to take your hot glue gun and you're going to make an L shape in the corner of your paper. And then you're going to continue to roll so that it sticks together, and there's your cone. So next you're going to take your plate and you're going to turn it upside down on your cardboard. You're going to need about a 9-inch round plate, and you're going to trace your plate, and then you'll have a circle, and then you're going to cut it out with your scissors. So after you have your cardboard circle cut out and you have about 45 to 55 sheets of music rolled, you are going to practice by taking your cardboard and laying it out, and then laying your music sheets around the cardboard to make sure that you have enough of the music sheets rolled. Don't glue anything until you know that you have enough. So now we're going to glue the cones to your cardboard. And I already have one mostly done to save time because no one wants to stand here for an hour and watch me glue all these cones to the cardboard. So what you're going to do is take your cone and put about a 2-inch line of glue on the bottom of your cone. Then you're going to lay it on your cardboard about 2 inches in. Just press it down and make sure it sticks really good. And remember, this takes about 45 to 50 cones. But you just keep gluing them right next to one another, nice and tight. And you're just going to make a circle pattern. And you're going to get some strings of hot glue, just tear them right off there, get them out of the way as you go. This is a project that can take some time, so be prepared. When I'm making them, I like to sit in the evening while I'm watching one of my favorite shows and roll all the cones. And then usually the next day I'll try to glue them all to my board. So just a few more here. And you can use any size sheet music. You can use books. You can use comic magazines. You don't have to use sheet music. It's just what we've decided to go with today. My circle's a little off, but that's okay. We're going to cover that up later. And I think we need about one more. We'll just squeeze it right down in there. Alright, so now they're all attached. So we've got a big music wreath, but we're not finished. So the next step, we are going to put it back on so that you can hang it up. And I put the back on before I put the center of the wreath on, just because it's easier to work with in my opinion. So we're going to take our roping and we're going to loop it on the back of it. This one, I think it's going to be about 8 inches, so We're going to cut it. And then I like to use old buttons. So we're going to take the button and we're going to cover it in hot glue. And you got to move kind of fast because the glue will dry fast. So you're going to stick that button right over the roping. And sometimes I add a little extra glue underneath there so that it sticks really good. And then we're going to do the same with our other button. It needs to dry. And I'm actually going to add it right to the rope right now. And just put a lot on there. I like to use jute more than this thicker roping. So when you're making yours, you might want to use the jute. All right, and now we just need to let it dry for a few minutes. So our next step, we're going to make the center of our wreath. So I'm going to use the music sheets and I'm going to fold them about 1 inch in, and then just keep repeating the fold until you're out of paper. And just fold that little piece right over there. And then I'm going to take it and I'm going to make like a coil out of it. So I'm going to roll it up. The coil can take quite a bit of time, but it's my favorite center look. You can use other things like big buttons or a flower, or I don't know, you can be creative with it. But you just keep rolling it. And then I take my glue gun and I put a little dab on, not at the end, about 1 inch in. And then I just roll it over the hot glue and then stop right there. And then I take another piece of sheet music and do the same thing. You fold it, just like the other one. And then I take it and I put hot glue on my previous coil at the very end. And then take my next sheet music that I folded and put right on top on the glue and let it dry for just a second. And continue rolling. And you're going to repeat this process over and over until you get the size coil that you need. Like I think for this one, I had to do about 10 folded sheets rolled. So here is the one that I completed already. And our final step is I like to take an old piece of lace. I cut this one about 5 by 5 inches. I like to take it, take your hot glue gun and the center of your wreath in the hole, just apply a bunch of hot glue. And then I take my piece of lace and I just lay it down in that glue so the edges are hanging over the music notes. So you're gonna let that dry just a minute, and then I take my coil that we did earlier and I cover it in hot glue. And it's okay to use a lot, but do it fast because you don't want your hot glue to dry. So we're going to take our coil and put right in the center of that hole, right over the lace. And I just push it down in there and allow it a little time to dry, about 5 minutes before you decide to pick it up. So here we have the final product. You can find the supplies at your local thrift store, a garage sale. You might even have some of the supplies in your house. The grandmas are always a good one to hit up. They always have old supplies that you could use. There may be a few little imperfections here and there, but remember, just like your husband's, as long as you love it, it doesn't have to be perfect.